baby?
Yo, 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 yo.
Acash
Yo.
in the house. Yes. Yes. Where's me my sunglasses? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. What are you saying?
Oh, Acash. We miss you. We miss you.
Good to see you in the chat, Akash.
Yes. You better stay there.
We need to get you back. We need to get you back.
Get you some pum talk.
Yes.
How's it going, everyone?
How we doings? Who else have we got in the chat?
Let yourself know.
Yes. Have you got any goodies, Ants, to go over the Frag of the Weeks?
Oh yeah, I've got some goodies with me. Nige, how's it going, mate?
How doing, Nige? You good?
Thank you for the very, very flattering picture of me on your live the other night. It was very, very nice.
Beautiful.
Very
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yes.
Start filling up in the chat.
What we'll do? Should we go over our frags of the week, and then we can go over what topics we'll go over?
Yeah, for sure. You got some goodies with you?
Oh, I do have some goodies.
What a treat for the eyes and the nose.
Alex, John.
Alex, I look like I'm in the window of the red light district is because I am practicing for being in a window in the red light district.
Yes. Right, shall I start us off?
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it, come on.
Okay, so Kevin at Merseysense sent me some samples over. So if you haven't subscribed to Kevin's YouTube channel, I suggest that you do so and pop over. So he does some brilliant videos, and he's got some great fragrances in his collection. And
I will say as well, he is an all-round great guy as well.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Just to talk to, he's
Really
a really good guy to talk to. So if you've not
really down to earth as well.
Yeah, definitely get taking a look at his channel because he's awesome.
Yeah, definitely, fully agree. And so Kevin sent me some samples over, and these are probably some of the main ones that I've been tested for this week. So I'll go over the ones that I've been testing out. So the first one is Naxos. So this one is really nice, and when I put it on, it can be quite sharp up front, but you know when it's in the air and you're getting them wafts. Really, really nice. Strong, lasted all day. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Surprised I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, that was the first one.
Hang on, am I coming through quite blurred? I'm getting a couple of
a little blur.
Doesn't look like it to me.
Yeah, it's gone a bit blur for me.
How very odd. Let me have a look at my intranet connection.
Kev is ace, definitely Baza. So the second one is from Javoy, Paris.
Javoy.
I'm going to completely mess this up, but it is Les Jeux Sans Force.
That sounds like you're saying the juice on my face. Les Jeux en Force.
This I sprayed and then I scrubbed it off. So didn't enjoy this one at all. It was very sharp, hit the nose. Yeah, it was just not good. It was a scrubber straight away. Didn't like it. Next one was Nishane, 100 Silent Ways, and this is really nice. This again, I put this on with Naxos, and I think the other one overpowered this one, so I didn't really get to enjoy it as much. But then the other day, I just solely wore this. and yeah, I really like it, and I get why a lot of people enjoy this one. So yeah, really nice, that one. Then the other two, I've got Byron Parfums Black Dragon.
Oh, nice.
Need to
What's
test
that
that out.
like?
Yeah,
Have you not
it's
tried it yet?
nice.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a quick whiff, but yeah, need to spend a bit more time with it. But yeah,
I've been very, very intrigued about that since since it's come out and people are throwing it all over the social medias. It's yeah, I've been very interested in it.
and then the last one is Faviol Seferi, I think it is, Insomnia. Again, I need to spend probably a bit more time with this. It's very nice. It's sweet, and yeah, the juice is like a sort of, I don't know if you can see it on there. It's like a sort of grey colour.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
nice,
very dark. But yeah, really nice, really nice. Strong,
nice,
very strong as well. So
strong,
that's
strong
strong.
strong like mutton.
Yeah, like a comrade. Yeah. So this is Insomnia. Really nice.
Nice, nice.
Nice. What about you, Ant?
Mate, well, I've been even though it's been quite warm, I'm trying to get into that like autumnal mood in terms of what I've been wearing. So I've been wearing a hella load of that Rich Warm Addictive. Been
Oh yeah.
layering it on just because I just love smelling like I could eat me. But I've also been rocking this bad boy. Went out at the weekend, bit of a date night, so you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I do like that one.
It's just sex in a bottle. And then I've just been going for a bit of basic bitch today, actually.
Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc, mate. I love the Aventus kind of vibe, just in general.
Yeah.
I really prefer this to the opening of like the pineapple opening. I love a pineapple opening, but I really, really prefer this. The more I wear it, the more I like it. It's it's beautiful.
Alex has a serious question.
Lay it on us. And then
Lay it on.
lastly, I don't know if you can see it, read it.
Is it Dior?
Oh. Mate, this is so nice. It's so nice. The iris in this is so nice. It's like not like it's similar to the rest of the line, but there's just something different about this one. I don't feel like the iris is as buttery as the others, but it's just incredible. It's good.
Starting to come through a bit clearer now, Ant.
Yes.
No more pixels.
No more pixels. But yeah, Dior Homme, it's just Dior Homme O. It's just it would work. It just works whenever. Like it just works for anything. I find like high heat, colder weather. I mean, I'm not going into the office at the minute. It's perfect for an office fragrance, but I'm with us not going into the office or anything like that. Can't test it around an office environment, but I can imagine it's a banger for an office fragrance. So if and when we do go back into the office, I might be rocking it a little bit more. Maybe not too much though, because considering it's discontinued, so I might want to keep a hold of it for a bit longer. But yeah, love it.
Did it work, Ant? Barry says.
Of course. I'm not one to kiss and tell, Barry. I'm a gentleman. I'm a proper lady.
So Alex says solid wax fragrances. What the fudge is going on with that?
I've seen more and more of these. They're like
I keep seeing loads of adverts.
like pocket ones, aren't they? Where you just slide it and you just kind of rub it in. I think it's just more of a longer lasting thing, isn't it? Yeah, because it stays on the skin a little bit longer. But I haven't got any myself.
Alex, do a purchase and give us a little review. Definitely. Cool. So some of the agendas topics that we're going to go over today.
See, Barry, you mean candles?
Brilliant. So some of the topics we're going to go over is the Joe Malone issue that's been going on with John Boyega, Frags and Flesh. So you probably can pick up what we want to sort of talk about regarding that. YouTubers' fragrance prices, eBay prices. We've then got a movie game, find 27 movies. Should be a good one.
We should do it tonight. We should do it. We should nail this one tonight, I think.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now. Do it slow. Do it sexy. Name the film in the comments.
Do it slowly. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it sexy.
Do it. Do it some more. Do it sexy. Then another topic. We're going to go over some movie news, what we've been watching, and then some what impact has the current climate happen? What's happening with the cinemas at the minute? So let's have a look. What's Alex saying? Okay, great. Thanks for that. Follow-up question. Can someone explain the basic premise of Prison Break?
I just don't know. But by this point, I just don't know anymore. I don't know. Up is down, left is right. I just don't know anymore.
I think we need a review from Dinosaur Man.
Do it.
Barry got it. True Lies.
That's right, baby.
4 candles.
4 candles.
Doucement. Right, okay, so the first topic in question is the John Boyega. So he went on Twitter, said, I've decided to step down as Joe Malone's global ambassador. When I joined the brand as their first male global ambassador last year, created the short film we used to launch the campaign. It won the Fragrance Foundation Virtual Awards for 2020 for Best Media Campaign. He then goes on to sort of break it down a bit. So this was regarding an advert that they went to China. So it was their decision to replace my campaign in China by using everything that he'd done, but then replaced him. So he says, while my brands understandably use a variety of global and local ambassadors, dismissively trading out one's culture this way is not something I can condone. So he basically wasn't happy with that, and this was what they did. So I think it was a case of that they'd not spoken to him, used everything that he did, but just took him out of the advert. So, what was your thoughts on this, Ant?
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit underhand, really, isn't it? Like, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to, especially like Chinese, the Chinese market, they're trying to appeal to their kind of like siloed Chinese market, aren't they? And by replacing John Boyega with a Chinese man, it kind of resonates more. Well, what they think, it resonates more with a Chinese audience, which I think on the face of it is probably not right for kind of. It's not right for what's the word I'm looking for? It's the word I'm looking for. It's not right to do, because you're basically just saying that we're only appealing to you guys. We're only appealing to the Chinese market, and that's it. When Joe Malone is a global brand, so you need that. You need diverse. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not doing any good for global diversity, which is not good in the first place, because you need a more diverse world. We need a more diverse market, and by singling out your own market as your own kind of like audience, it's, you know, you're narrowing who you're appealing to anyway. But at the same time, it's bad on that side. But then at the same time, for anything that John Boyega has kind of like put creative input into that, because I can imagine he's not just gone along with whatever it was that he was told to do. He's quite a hands-on kind of guy. He wants to get involved. He wants to do some input. He wants to try and put his stamp on it. For them to then just kind of go, see you later, and not even tell him until to the last minute, until after it's been done. It's a bit of a shitty thing to do. So
it's a bit of a slap in the face, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand. It's like someone, you know, copying your homework and then saying that it was their idea and then getting the credit for it. It's not on from that perspective. It's obviously a bit more complicated than that. But the basic premise is that it's not fair on him. It's just weird. It's just a weird marketing choice. It's just strange, and I don't understand why they did it. And I can totally understand why he did what he did by stepping down, because why would you want to be associated with a company that lacks a sense of diversity, and it lacks a sense of just moral standards more than anything? Like, you would expect to be consulted about that if you were the face of the brand. You know what I mean? If you were if you were the ambassador and the face of the brand, you would be expected to be consulted or discussed, whatever, about why they are doing this or what the decision is around doing this. It just seems very odd to me.
I think the issue as well is that he had total creative input into that sort of advert. So I think it was all done in his hometown. He got the idea and everything from that perspective, and I think it's a case of that, again, they didn't consult him to say that we're doing this and we're going to use your ideas. So, yeah, I think it's just a communication thing, and also just, I think it's just a general slap in the face, really.
Yeah, it's just disrespectful, if I'm being honest. Like, it's just not a nice thing to have to... It's not a nice thing to witness as an outsider, that kind of stuff happening. But I can imagine to John Boyega himself, it's just like you said, it's a slap in the face. And I don't blame him at all for stepping down from being the ambassador of Joe Malone at all. I'd be questioning why he didn't, if he didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got some more people in the chat. Looks like George.
Right, George. You got some nifty glasses on. Dressing slick. Who else we got? Clements in. Evening. How we doing? Kev, how we doing, mate? We gave you a
quick
nice
shout out a minute
shout
ago,
out
mate.
earlier. We was getting telling people to head over to your channel. Just went over some of these samples that you sent across, mate. So yeah, really nice, especially the Nishane one. Really love that one. Really nice. So the next topic, Frags and Flesh.
Oh,
yes. Let's have a look. Hang on. Before we get onto that topic, George has put, it's very common for companies to take a smaller design house's ideas or designs. Yeah, I can imagine it's common. I think it's more of the taking the idea and not communicating it with your ambassador that sort of created that idea. And going forth. So
yeah, I mean, like, creative differences in terms of kind of like location wise, or depending on where you are in the world and who you're appealing to. I can understand some creative differences, but to completely exchange one person out seemingly for the color of their skin seems wrong. It is wrong on every kind of level. Just because you don't think that that's going to appeal to that market, it doesn't seem like the right or wise choice to do. And not only just from that perspective, but it's also, like you said, it's a case of he's had total creative input. He's helped create this campaign and everything, and then they've just gone, yeah, well, thanks for that, but we'll get someone else to just fill in for you. It's just not right. It's not a right thing to do.
Cool. So, Frags and Flesh. So the topic in question. So this is something that doesn't bother me, but I just want to see what you guys think.
I bet it doesn't bother you. I bet it doesn't bother
me. So you see a lot of people flaunting the flesh. They'll have a flag, a frag
Oh.
with a bit of cleavage out. But what made me want to talk about it is there's a lady I follow in terms of martial arts, and she was putting pics up of doing like martial art kicks and etc. And then over time, it started to change of where it would be I'm wearing a thong doing a kick, or it was getting less and less. And my thoughts are, what do you guys think it is? Do you think if you see someone doing that, do you think the passion is there for that either martial art or for the fragrance, or is it a click to get the likes?
Okay, so I you could put this into any category. It's not just fragrance. It literally, like you said, martial arts. It could be anything,
Yeah,
and it's an unfortunate thing because it's quite a shallow thing. But as George is saying there, sex sells. Doesn't
yeah,
matter what it is. It could be a chocolate bar. Quite often is a chocolate bar. Remember those flake adverts?
yeah.
The woman in a bath. It had nothing to do with a flake, but sex sells, and I think something is quite that can be quite used as an intimate thing, such as a fragrance. Fragrances can be quite an intimate thing, especially if it's kind of like a date night thing. It's something you're using to get compliments, to draw attention to yourself from the opposite sex. It's a very easy thing to kind of go, just get a naked woman on there, or get a bloke
Yeah,
that's wearing just nothing but a pair of pants. Acqua di Gio. It's a very easy thing for you to kind of just go, let's just get as much skin on show as we possibly can. And it's just, I suppose it's just the world that we live in. It's sex sells. It always has done. It probably always will do.
Do you think though that if you are constantly seeing, I see it on sometimes Jeremy's page, where Jeremy's always in his pants, and you could
what
just look
Kev
in the
just put.
comments. So, oh bloody hell, all the comments.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get
Depends
to
what
it
she's
in a
put. Okay.
minute.
So I think going back to like Jeremy, so it's fine whatever he does, it's his page, whatever. But what
Mm.
you'll see in the comments is people will go, "I've not come here for that. I've come here to
Hmm.
look at you discussing fragrance." Do you think that if you are constantly seeing it, do you sort of think, well, that person's not providing me what I want in terms of
Okay.
showing
I
me
see
about
what
the
you mean.
product?
I see what you mean. So I suppose this goes into the difference between a marketing campaign or
Yeah,
a content provider, a content producer such as Jeremy. So if you've
yeah,
got so this my opinion is if you've got a reviewer or a content producer that is giving you quality content around a certain product. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be fragrance. It doesn't have to be anything. It could just be a particular thing. And you've got an audience, a large audience. It could be a small, it could be a large audience, but a large audience that has a passion for that product. I can understand why people might go, oh, I don't really want to be looking at that kind of stuff. Because I'm here for a reason. But I think if you then turn it into a marketing campaign, you flip it on its head because it draws people in, it draws their attention, it grabs their attention very quickly because you've only got maybe 15-second advert or something along those lines.
yeah,
But yeah, I totally get what you mean from a flip side perspective. If you're doing it as a content creator, it can become more of a detractor.
yeah,
From from my perspective, I just find it, if we're talking about Jeremy, if we're talking about Ojeza, I find it hilarious. I just find
yeah,
it
yeah,
hilarious because I think that he's very aware of what he's doing, and he puts videos out there, and he's like, his comments are like, "I have to do this kind of stuff because that's all people are bothered about. Like that's a certain audience are bothered about." Um, but I don't know. I don't know if he's very stupid or very clever. I'd like to think that he's very clever about what he does. Um,
yeah.
but I just find him hilarious. I just think he's so funny.
I think
I
you've
kind
also got,
so I kind of almost kind
yeah,
of watch him for the stupid things rather than the fragrance things now. I think he is a very clever man because he knows I think he knows the balance between it, because you'll get like really, really stupid videos for a long time. And then recently he's gone out and bought all of these loads of different fragrances, and he's starting to it feels like he's getting back into the whole kind of like reviewing game and getting that side of things. So he's got a good balance, and I think he knows his audience extremely well. And he works it very well. I think he is clever. I think he is very clever.
Yeah.
But you can totally understand how you can look at him and think, this guy's an idiot. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
But I think he's
But
much clever
I think
than that.
I think it can also push you off the page. So if, say for example, that lady who does the martial arts. So if I was initially there to sort of look at all the crazy kicks she was doing, if then now they're sort of the clothing is reduced, you don't want to be sat there with the wife and the like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why are you looking at them pics? So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to unfollow because you don't want your wife seeing you looking at them sort of pictures or what
Yeah,
have
of
you. And you
course.
could probably
Yeah.
have the same for Jeremy. So it can have that sort of
Opposite effect, yeah.
detraction, from actually I like what you're doing, but you're sort of going in a direction where I can't sort of follow it anymore. So
I've had a lot of comments on this subject, quite rightly so, really. So let's go through them. So, George, for me personally, I don't think Zahara needs sex to sell. I think Zahara is about quality, something that is familiar. Feeling sex is how one feels inside. The outside doesn't matter. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, fully agree. I've seen Scott join. Thanks for coming in, Scott.
How's it going, dude? Carry on. Well said, George.
Karate adverts were the best ever. Definitely.
And you got Jeremy. We're talking about Jeremy. Yeah, depends where she was putting the flake. That made me laugh earlier.
Any sprinkles?
And then you got Clements. I think it's a mix of everything. As a lady, I don't even think about it honestly, which is an interesting thing. Because I think the sex sells is definitely something more targeted at a male audience, and that's not being kind of like sexist in any way. I think it's a case of that it's very easy to get a man's attention if you throw a half-naked woman in front of him. Men are very simple creatures. I am a man, so I am a simple creature. We are very simple creatures, and I think I think it is a sex sells things more targeted at a male audience than it is a female audience. But it's interesting to see that you don't even think about it when it's in your face. I suppose it's nice, it's refreshing to see that, because I suppose it's quite easy to say that you just that everyone's attracted to it.
Yeah, fully agree. New Den Lines, thanks for joining us, mate. But for me, creation is a holy thing, it's spiritual experience, and I think all of you gents see that with me and what I create. I don't want to hijack the stream. Express your thoughts, George. Express them thoughts. Budgie smuggling Jezza. You've been looking at that budgie. You filthy animal.
He's been pausing and zooming in.
He has. Screenshot. I mean, there's a difference between a light speed.
Well, to some people, there isn't, and I think that's the point of it, isn't it? Like there's your different markets, there's your different audience. We appreciate it, mate. We appreciate it, George. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. I think you find sex selling designer fragrances, but not too many niche. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, you don't really. Thing is, you don't really see a lot of niche kind of like marketing or adverts or anything like that, do you? They're very few. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw an advert for anything like that. I mean, you see a lot of adverts for designer fragrances all the time, but I can't remember ever seeing one for like a TV advert or something like that. I can't remember ever seeing anything for a niche house.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting, really, because I don't see them. So it's like they literally get by on word of mouth alone.
Yeah, I think it's because
alone.
I think it's because it doesn't go out to that wider sort of demographic.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the sort of age group for your niche fragrances are. You wouldn't find. I don't think you would find your sort of early 20s buying too many
Yeah,
niche.
and I think that's the idea behind it being called a niche, because it is a niche in the market, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Caroline,
Hey.
hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Where are we?
Mia, thanks for joining us, Mia.
Hey,
Got
Mia, how's it
a
going?
bit of Black Dragon from Kevin.
Black
I need to
Dragon.
test it a bit more. It's nice.
I really,
Really
really
nice.
want to get my Michelins on that one.
It's the Nishane one. The Nishane
good?
is really nice.
French.
I don't think it's topping Annie just yet, but it's
Oh,
yeah,
Annie.
it's really nice.
Oh, that was good.
Oh,
That was
Annie.
a good. That was a good night. All those different first impressions.
Yeah. Sex only sells if you've only got 2 brain cells. Nice.
This is when we were talking about Jeremy, I think. So
Yeah.
he's very smart. He knows what he's doing. I totally agree. But yeah, he's. I've just read the next comment. He knows what he's doing. Of course, he knows what he's doing, and he does it. And it's not to say that he's doing it kind of like underhandedly. He's not. He's not trying to be conniving or anything like that. He knows what he's doing, and he tells people what he's doing, and it still works. The comment about him stretching his schlong. Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't see that one, Barry.
He was
a good
talking.
stretch,
Yeah. He said it went into the. He's talking about. He said like something like, "I went into the bathroom to stretch my penis," or something along those lines. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he says it out loud. He tells everyone what he's doing. And it still works.
So people in the comments. So I'd probably say Mia and Clemens, if you're still in here, if you followed a female reviewer, would it put you off if you was constantly seeing more cleavage and then frag on the side on Insta? Would that take away that you think this person's not really into fragrance? They're just more about pushing their cleavage out and
if
getting
they started
clicks?
doing all their reviews in just like swimsuits or something like that?
Would that put you off? Jeremy knows exactly what he's doing, what he says, and what he shows. Yeah.
It says he tells you what he's doing, and you kind of love him for it.
Cuban Groove, thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, yo.
So he's very razor sharp when it comes to his focus. He's constantly trying different things, and he pulls back when something doesn't work. Is that his sausage you're on about? The schlong.
Oh, Lord.
For what he's achieved, you got to give it him. He's good at what he's doing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fully agree. And that's why he's where he is now. So Mia said probably would. It probably would make her think, is it about the clicks or whether it's about the frag? So Barry says Demi does do that. Clement says cleavage, I don't mind. It's part of the body. I don't see anything sexual in that. So no, but if there's no knowledge behind and just sexy voice and position, then I'm out. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, definitely absolutely. Fair enough.
God, he told, what's this? He told the frag apprentice.
Oh, did you, Mia?
At a certain level, when a certain tie takes it down. Oh. Did not know that.
What's that?
This, hang on.
He told the frag apprentice that if a video doesn't hit a certain level within a certain amount of time, you'll find that a lot of his old videos have vanished as well.
Where are we? Oh my god, oh my gosh.
Wow, George, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
that just popped up. Wow,
bloody hell! Thank you very much. I've never had that before.
Mate.
Thank you.
No,
really appreciate that.
I've just lost where we are now.
You've taken and out
I've
of focus now.
literally just knocked the words out of
Yeah.
my mouth. I'm really blown over by that generosity.
Thank you very much again, George. Really appreciate that. So Mia's put, I stopped watching someone that constantly posts provocative pictures with frags with not much info on the fragrance. Yeah, and I think that's the point that I want to make is if there's no substance behind it, you know that it's just clicks, and I think for me that's off-putting.
Yeah,
overall for me.
yeah.
As a fragrance lover, I don't take Jeremy seriously because I know with him it's about the likes and not for the love of fragrance. I think I do believe that he's got that fragrance side to him. He does generally love
Yeah,
fragrance.
and I think this is what we were talking about before, wasn't it? The mix between his kind of like silliness and quirkiness and kind of like and him just being kind of like generally kind of like happy to then his love of fragrance. Because I think that right at the start, you've got his love of fragrance because everything was about building up his brand and stuff like that. It's about keeping his commercial, like his audience and stuff like that, and appealing to a different audience whilst keeping the love. I think he does have a love of fragrance.
Yeah.
Because it works. Like it does work when people see that he's talking about something that hasn't been spoken about in ages. Then you'll start to see videos all over the place of other people talking about stuff that they haven't spoke about in ages. So I think that he does have it, but he's just got a sense of an understanding of his audience, and he knows how to appeal to different parts of his audience in different ways, which is why he has the very heavy kind of like fragrances. He'll throw fragrance stuff at you all the time, but then he'll throw stuff where he's jumping on tables and smashing bottles and everything like that. Barry, I was completely flummoxed by the donation. And the simpleton. I am. Is that my new name now?
What was it? I don't really follow Joseph learn about frags. I mean, he put Britney Spears as the sexiest frag. Like, seriously.
I think he has very basic kind of taste as well. He's very designer kind of. I feel like he's very designer kind of heavy, and I think that kind of like translates into his fragrances as well, aren't they? Because even though he's kind of like marketing a niche price bracket, it's that they all smell very designer. So it kind of translates to kind of his taste into his fragrance, which I suppose at least it's got a linear flow. At least he's kind of staying true to what he likes. He's just charging through their nose for it.
I think this leads on to my sort of next topic. So YouTubers' fragrance prices. So when I did a first review of Office for Men, so I got a sample of it. I got it in quite early, to be fair. I got it off eBay. And when I did a review of it, the comments on the video, I got absolutely hammered when I reviewed Office for Men. And people were full on slating it. The majority of them had probably never even smelt it. But they were like fully going in on the comments. And my views are, well, what I want to know from you guys. So you got the likes of Big Beard Business, who's just released some of his frags, which I think they're around 195. Why do you think that he doesn't get as much hate compared to Jeremy in terms of the pricing?
Yeah, and this isn't. I suppose we put a kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like Oh
So
my
we're not
gosh.
bashing them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah,
we're not here
we're
saying
not
that
bashing. It's just
people
to
should
get the
be hating on
understanding.
people.
Yeah,
We just wanted to kind of see what your guys understand or what you guys think of the whole difference between it, because Jeremy does get slated quite a lot for the price. I mean, even I just said that he charges through the nose for his fragrances, but then when you get other YouTubers that create different fragrances, they are charging a high end price for it, but no one seems to want to kind of bash them as much as him. So we're not saying that they deserve being bashed or anything like that. We're just kind of generally kind of interested because both me and Nick are in the same kind of like understanding of this. Like if people are going to slate one person for doing one thing and then others are doing the same thing, is there any reason why that opinion of the two people isn't shared?
Do you think it's because of personality and that
I
big
think
beer
Clements has
businesses?
I think Clements has just touched on that, hasn't she? She said people review his personality, not his fragrances. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that might be the case. I think with big beer business, it's again he's not wacky, he's not wild, he's not out there, and I think a lot of people really sort of enjoy the fragrance videos that he puts out. And but for me, I think it's still the same that you're putting fragrances out there that no one smelled at 195. But yeah, the backlash that Jeremy got was, oh, you're not giving samples out, you're not letting people try it, and stuff like that. So it's
Okay.
just yeah.
So you're getting some. So Clements is his fragrances seem more mass appealing. So the price point is a bit much so compared to the actual scent, which is very nice. Honestly, I like Office, but the price, yeah, and I agree. I think that I wouldn't. And this is not just saying that we think that Jeremy's getting a hard time in comparison to others. I wouldn't pay full retail price for Office or Date for what they are. Like you could find something very similar for a much lower price. But I suppose it was just the comparison between it, whether or not people are doing it just because it was a thing to do at the time to bash him, and it's just kind of like died off over time, considering now that other people are producing other stuff, or was it something else? You've got some people here saying, so we've got here, I'm not mistaken, Jeremy stated Office was going to be very cost accessible, and then he jacked it up. So obviously that was from the Kickstarter, and then he kind of said he was going to triple the price of his fragrance, which he got a bit of backlash for, and then he did an apology video. And I think Kev just said the same thing. I remember Jamie saying that the fragrance was for all of his followers, and then goes and charges a stupid price. So yeah, and that is an understandable thing to kind of get annoyed about if you're going to market it at one thing, and then once it goes out to later on, you then just yank up the price. It's that is a bit.
Do you think that if there's a fragrance reviewer that does a line that is in the range of £50 to £90, do you think they would be more successful or not?
I think that that would appeal to a larger audience. I suppose it really depends. Like I think that would be quite refreshing. I think that would be quite nice to get designer prices from what would be considered as an indie brand or a niche brand, depending on how the YouTuber wants to kind of market their own brand. Obviously, they're not designer because they're not a designer house, but you could put it out there at a designer price. I think it would be more accessible to the masses, which means it would, well, you say it doesn't mean, but could mean that it would do better in terms of sales, because more people are going to be kind of like, well, actually, yeah, I'll do it. But that means that does mean that you would, if your fragrance was half the price of something else, you would have to sell twice as many. So you are running that risk. And if your audience isn't big on YouTube, which I could imagine if you are creating your own fragrance and marketing out there, you're probably going to be 100,000 subscriber mark anyway. So you're probably going to have a large audience anyway. you would need to rely on that audience alone, because you don't have a marketing campaign behind you. You don't have TV adverts, you don't have radio adverts, you don't have billboards or anything like that. You're solely relying on your own YouTube presence.
Yeah.
So you would have to have a large audience to do that. But these people that are creating their own fragrances do have that large audience, and considering their product is only available via website and online, depending on their shipping abilities, that's almost an unlimited audience.
Yeah.
So
there was a good point here with Barry. He screwed over his own subs with the early deal, then later with the buy one get one free deal.
yeah, I remember I was talking about that, thinking that I would be super pissed if I bought one and then found out a week later I could have got two for the same price. Like, I would have been pissed. But I think that was him starting his journey as well. And there's going to be, I'm not making excuses for him, but there are going to be mistakes made along the way. But yeah,
Andy Hughes is not going above £14 for any Lynx Africa.
Wouldn't expect anything less, mate. Wouldn't expect anything less. I enjoy Office. I really enjoy Office. But I wouldn't buy a 100ml bottle of it, just because unless I got it at a discounted price, or someone was selling it. Yeah, if someone was selling it at a much cheaper price, I wouldn't pay full retail for it. I just can't justify it.
And I think, that's a good point there, Nige. So Dan's fragrance, if he'd have put that £195, similar to the others, do you think we would have been pissed off with that price? And what do you think makes the difference between Dan putting his fragrance at £90 with all of that presentation that he's put in that bottle,
which is an absolutely gorgeous bottle, by the way, compared
to Navitus at £195?
Or even Office or Date at €200, which is a very, very basic glass bottle. And even Jeremy has said the cost of that bottle and the atomizers and stuff like that is like, I think we said it was like $12 or something along those lines. So it's nothing. And then, like you said, you get Gravitas, who's got an absolutely gorgeous looking bottle, gold plaque, really fine detail, but that's just a bottle, I suppose, as well. And then you've got a much more complex fragrance in itself as well. It's not a basic designer fragrance either. It's a much more complex fragrance as well, and you can afford to sell that at a much less price point. I suppose it depends on ingredients. I suppose it depends on what's in it. But it's hard to justify it when you get one, or you compare two, like side by side, and you go, how is this like not almost, over twice as much as this, when there isn't really a comparison there? I don't know.
So it'd be refreshing. Yeah. It'd be refreshing, I agree. I think it's difficult, though, for reviewer to create something more affordable, because obviously these people are knowledgeable about Frags, so they want the best.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're going into it blind, so you are, I imagine, paying for a lot of people who know what they're talking about, so your overheads are a lot more than the designers that have got a tried and tested formula of getting people, and they can create these things for much less. So that, I suppose that has to be taken into account as well. Yeah,
but I think it also, when you see it on the other end, it sort of limits your audience from being able to purchase a bottle.
Absolutely.
I know that I wouldn't flat out be able to purchase 195 bottle of anything. I'd probably have to save for quite a while to just flat out buy £195 per bottle. But yeah, so I think it would limit majority of people to be able to purchase a bottle like that. Which
it appeals to your diehard audience.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely.
that and there are always going to be people that buy it. I mean, look at, you've got, just take Roger Dove, for example, like those fragrances are massively mega expensive in some instances, and people buy them. So there are always going to be people that buy them, and I suppose it's I suppose the marketing campaign or the strategy is that if you sell something for a really high price, you only have to sell a few of them to be able to make your money back. But if you sell something for a smaller price, you have to make sure that you appeal to enough people to make as much as you would do if you only sold a few units if it was more expensive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're kind of weighing up your options there, and I suppose it's about understanding whether or not you've got that diehard audience to say, actually, all I need to do is sell this to 5 people, and I've made more than I would hope to make if I sold it at this price point to 500 people. I know those numbers are a bit all over the place, but you get what I'm saying. So I suppose it is just it's a marketing strategy, it's a marketing campaign. So it's just an interesting topic, I think, because I think as kind of like people that don't create fragrances or have no idea of what goes into it, or the costing of things and things like that, it's very hard to kind of look from a far view and go, how is this 200 to 300 euros? And this seems like it could be similar, if not more expensive, but can be sold at 90 quid. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
It's just an interesting topic, I think.
So Alex said, Marc Jacobs' bang is going for £300 for 100 mil. I'm going to be bankrupt chasing this dragon. Yeah, it's a lot of dosh.
Always on about bang. Always on about bang.
There are only a few high price fougères out there, like Invasion or Barbara. I don't know how to say that. The Barber. Navitus has a lot of expensive ingredients in there, more woods and orientals, and the concentration is extremely high.
Which, again, makes sense because you don't know what goes into it. So it provides you a little bit more context as to why that might be more expensive.
Is that Michael Jackson? Another Michael Jackson bang bang.
Definitely not Marc Jacobs.
If Gravitas was higher than those, it would have been shouting from the rooftops that it was the best fougere out there based on asking price. Yeah. Okay, so that's the bang one. Eve, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Going, Eve, yeah. Nigel Gravitas, yes, Nigel Gravitas is such a good price. It has proper cap, which I think was a big negative for Office earlier on. Even Office now, I think, has still not got a proper cap. And I think when you look at Gravitas and you look at everything about that, like the presentation and everything, it just looks far superior when you're comparing it to Date and Office or Day and Night or whatever he's got coming out and stuff like that.
Mr. Eduardo, thanks for joining us.
Hey, big boy.
So this leads on to a sort of another topic around prices. So eBay sort of prices. So there was a fragrance that me and Ant tried when we did our Zara video. And this was the Rich Warm Addictive fragrance. I wanted to buy it. So I had a look on eBay just to see if there was any bargains on there. What I found was in Zara, you can purchase this fragrance for around £12.
Yes.
On eBay, they're going for around £30. So I'm like, why would people go to eBay and purchase that for £30 when they could go to Zara, the main person it's made by, and purchase 2 bottles?
That makes no sense.
It made me want to go on there and message them and go,
what are you doing? Hell?
Yeah. But people are buying them, which baffles me. So you'll see like 50 sold or whatever. But yeah, it just really baffles me that people are overpaying for fragrances on eBay. I tend to go on there for the bargains and not double or tripling the price. See you, Clements. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Clements. Thank you. So yeah, I'm seeing something in the comments about saying like reformulation and stuff like that, which could be a reason for it, but like it's...
I think some of the ones are not the sort of 2018 version. They're the new ones that they're.
But the thing is, like, even still, it's like I get it if you wanted like an older version of it that is supposed to be better, but this is still killer. It's still a killer fragrance, and I bought this 2 weeks ago, so it's
Yeah.
very very new, and it's extremely affordable. So I get it that you want it if you wanted it like an old formulation, and that's like you think it's a little bit better than the new formulation, but that new formulation is still really really good and like half the price. So is it really worth it? Is it? I don't know.
God knows, but it just annoyed me that I could see stuff on there that they're hiking the prices up. Another one, I know prices go up when they're discontinued, but Calvin Klein Crave, I can remember buying that for 18, £17. I had a look on eBay in the hundreds, £130 for a 30 ml, whatever. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
I
I
suppose
know
it's,
discontinued goes up, but come on.
but
When it
it's
was
like
like 70 quid.
I get it. Like, well, I don't get it. I don't get it. But if that's what takes your fancy and you want to do that, more power to you. But Zara is kind of like known as the fragrances are really affordable. They're
Yeah.
kind of they're known for their fragrances to be really affordable. So if you're going out your way to then spend twice as much on a fragrance, I don't see the logic behind it. But if that's
Yeah.
what you want to do, then great. I'm not going to
Um,
tell you not to, but
Barry says some people say it's nowhere near as good.
yeah, yeah, and
Um,
they do it based upon their own opinions and what they want. But yeah, it seems like an odd choice to me. But
Night
again,
Nige, thanks for
I am
joining
a
us, mate.
I'm a simpleton. Night, night. Cheers. Thanks for joining us.
I think those prices are for people in countries where they can't get it from Zara. Could be.
Fair enough. I think that's a bit of
Could be.
exploitation.
Yeah. Get the charge up. Cool. So,
Barry's been saying something about Zara. Zara pissed off a lot of people this week. The same
Zara
frag in
kicking
the
off.
men's section was dearer than in the women's section. So they're charging men
Oh,
more.
it's not good, is
Plus
it?
their new plus they released a new line, then dropped the price a week after a week.
They've been getting tips off Jezza.
Ah. That's
I remember looking for old Ottoman Empire and it was on eBay for £700. What the fudge? Craziness. Cool. So before we get into the next one, I wanted to do a few shout outs. Nigel, you may not be here, but wanted to shout you out for giving us a shout out. And you've been doing some wicked lives. And I think I can remember when you first started doing them, you were nervous and you're messaging, asking if how's this going, how's that going. But yeah, I think you've sort of hit it running. So yeah,
yeah,
keep
they're
doing your
really
thing, mate.
really
Doing
entertaining,
really
and
well.
I really appreciate the very flattering picture you had of me in your game on Friday. It's very
You
nice.
look
Thank
like
you
you
very
look
much.
like you've been electrocuted, and
It was before it was
yeah.
before my lockdown haircut. But yeah, it was very nice.
Who's this sexy guy? This sexy man, this sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
So Barry is nearly at 1K. So
Get
if you
hitting that
haven't
subscribe.
subscribed to Barry, just go and
Just do
fucking
it.
do it now.
Just go do it.
Just go over there and subscribe. But yeah, I reached out to Barry the other week and I said, I've got some frags for you, or samples that I'll send to you and you can review on your channel. So I got the wife, not me, got the wife to send them, and they didn't end up turning up to Barry's, and God knows what happened to them. So I've said to Barry, I'll send him something else. But
The
Barry
postie had a bit
alerted,
of a sniff, didn't it? The postie had a bit of a
yeah,
sniff and kept them to himself.
but Barry made me aware that if you don't tell them that you've got aftershave in the envelope, they can sort of bin it if they find out there's sort of fragrances in the package and you haven't sort of declared it, which the wife didn't do. So if it doesn't have that sort of sticker on it, then I'm guessing they bin it. So sorry, Barry. So, yeah, I think it's worse that I messaged him and said, "Here you go, I've got some," and then they didn't even turn up. So yeah, sorry, Barry. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Barry, go and do so now, please.
Get yourself over there. Click that button.
Yeah. So, and if you didn't see that we're doing a giveaway on our latest video, so this was on our perfume parlor video. So we're giving away 3 prizes. So it's 10 mil of Wanted by Night.
I think it's 15 mil actually.
Oh, is it 15?
I
Okay,
think so.
15. And then we're giving away a full bottle of Guerlain L'Homme Idéal. And
Ideal
then
Cologne.
Ideal. And then also some perfume parlor samples. So yes, if you haven't seen that, pop over to the perfume parlor video that we did, and you'll see the details of the giveaway on there. Okay, so we've got a movie game.
Ooh.
We have got a movie game. So let's get through these comments and then we'll crack on. So we've got a fine 27 movies. Let me close this
Whoa,
down.
hang on. I've just seen something. Superdrug had a 1-day sale yesterday. Loads of designers for £5, including a 200 mil Eros. For £5?
What the hell?
How did I miss out on that?
They would do that when hardly anyone's in town.
Five quid for 200 mil.
That is crazy.
Those are big boy
Craziness.
bottles. As Jeremy said, they were a big, sexy boy bottle.
Big 60 boy. It's all right, Dan. I told her myself when she did it. What have you done? And Lacoste, Laham, and Hugo Boss.
Hugo.
Damn.
Missed
I
out
always
on that
forget.
one.
I always forget about Superdrug selling
Superdrug,
Frags.
yeah, they're pretty competitive prices as well. Just in general, really.
Right. Okay. So let me upload the game.
Yes.
So you know the rules. Drop a comment of what movies you see.
I'm
And
gonna I'm gonna read out the comments. I'm going to abstain from this one this week, just to see how it goes.
Yes. Right, here we go.
Take the comments off. Are we ready? Let's take this banner down. Let's go.
Boom. Hit me up. So there's 27 films.
These are a little bit more obvious, I think.
Yeah. There's obvious ones, but then I think there's a few hidden ones. So when you start seeing a man.
Edward Scissorhands.
Who's that?
Barry.
Ron Bazzo.
Yeah, defo. Jumanji. Terminator. Barry. Short Circuit. Da Vinci's Alchemist.
Yeah, Short Circuit.
Cuban Groove. Gremlin,
yes. Under the Bench.
Little Gizmo. Peter Michael Marnick. Space Jam. Correct.
Yes,
Well done.
the sticker on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Dumb and Dumber. Kev. Hook. Barry.
Yeah. But yeah, the hook's on the left or
Cuban
the right.
Groove. Harry and Henderson.
Yes, the
Harry and the
Bigfoot.
Hendersons.
It's by the tree.
Yep. Hook, Gremlins. Yep, we've got Gremlins and we've got Hook already, guys.
Yep.
E.T.
E.T.
Well done. Yep.
Yep. Background, top left.
Yep. Heather's in with Jurassic Park.
Heather.
I think with the Barbican. Me, Myself, and Irene. Dan Edwards. Ghostbusters. Kev.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
No, there's no me,
No.
myself, and Irene. What was it? Ghostbusters. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost Under the Bench.
Yeah. And then you got Forrest Gump by Barry, the
Yeah,
main one.
that's it.
I am gonna contribute to this one.
Go on then.
You got Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't think that's in there.
So,
I'm going to say,
Indiana's the gold statue.
yeah, I'm going to say Pulp Fiction at the
Yeah,
top of the Jumanji
men,
box.
men. It's the behind the board game.
Yeah, I'm also going to say Back to the Future 2 with the hoverball on the bottom left.
Yes.
I'm also going to say you got Terminator, Jurassic Park. I think we've got those two both.
Yeah, we got them ones.
I'm also going to say Mars Attacks. Good night, Mia. Thanks for
Yeah.
thanks for
Cheers,
joining.
Mia. Thank you. Top right corner is
Yes,
Mars Attack.
Mars Attacks. Yes, I thought so. I'm not going to say anymore.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 left out of 27. Barry, get that iPad out.
Home Alone, Heather.
Home Alone, yes, writing on the bench.
Wet Bandits, yeah.
Wet Bandits.
Is the Goonies one?
The Goonies is one. Who got
Yeah,
that?
oh, I said it, but then Kev just said it right at the same time.
Yes, the bronze medal in the jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm. Super Troopers, Never Ending Story.
Who got Never Ending Story?
Da Vinci's Alchemist.
Yes, Brandon. It's Necklace.
Yep. Never Ending Story.
So we've got 7 left out of 27.
7. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Barry.
Yeah, so you got that, Bazza, yes. On the bottom right on the bench.
Yes. We haven't got this robot on the right yet, guys. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, who got that?
Barry.
Who got Barry? Wayne's World, yep, sticker on the bench.
So I'm guessing we haven't got that red hat on whatever that is. Transformers?
Nope. So we've got 5 left.
That robot is definitely one.
That's Short Circuit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We've already got that then.
Yeah.
Is that whatever's the yellow thing in his pocket as well? I don't think we've got, have we?
So there's 5 left. The
Barry said Predator.
yes, Bazza. The writing on the bench.
Which one? Oh, wow. That was a good spot. Tony's in the house.
Tony. So we got 4 left.
Oh, hang on. On the chocolates, is that Wayne? Is that Batman?
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Wayne Enterprise logo on the chocolate box.
I thought I recognised that.
So we got 3 left.
3 left. Titanic?
Yeah, we got that.
Baz?
Go
Where?
on, Bazza. That's the necklace around Edward Scissorhands.
Wow.
See, that's what Barry does when he gets the iPad out.
Baz is
So
on it.
you got 2 left now.
I feel like there's a face in the on the bench as well, above Gizmo.
So the clues are one of them is on the bench, and then the other one is on Mr. Hanks.
So I think it's that yellow card in his pocket. I don't know what it's from though. And I also think it's that red hat we haven't got yet, have we? one.
There's 2 left. So it's the one in the pocket.
Big Lebowski.
Yes. So you've just got 1 left.
Which one was the Big Lebowski?
It was the pocket.
Ah, so we've just got the hat left then, haven't we?
Yeah. No.
It's not the hat.
It's on the bench.
It's on the bench. Is it that face on the bench?
No.
It feels like there's a face on the bench near his elbow. It's on the bench.
It says it's on the bench, but I can't see where it is on the bench. Oh yeah, I think I can see it now.
Right, tell us where we're looking then, because we've got this last one.
I think it's on the left, near his elbow.
Yeah, that face, that's what I'm talking about. Looks like a face. Looks like a face like engraved in the bench.
No, not over the top. Oh, Kevin, you're close, mate. You're close, but it's not that. Kevin is close. Have a look at what he's put.
I see it. Hang on.
So it's close, but not that.
I can see it. There's like an engraving in there, isn't there?
Barry is getting even closer.
Is that Arnie? Running Man.
No. Someone's going to get it now.
Arnie.
So think of what Kevin and Barry has put.
Golden Ticket and Arnie. Oh, Last Action Hero.
Yes.
Yes.
Boom, shake the room.
Love
The
Last
Action Hero. It was the admit one on the bench.
Yeah. Love that movie. You got
Good work, guys.
Charles Dance in that one as well. It's a banger of a movie.
Really good. Really, really good. Right. So.
Is it money? No, it's an admission ticket.
Yeah, it was the ticket that breaks.
I'll show you one day. I'll show you one day. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, similar to a golden ticket from Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
It's wicked. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a quality film. Cool. So, what have we been watching, and what have you been watching this week?
What have you been watching?
So I think I've only watched a couple of things this week.
Yeah, I watched a few things. Are you going to go first?
I thought should we do the one that we've both watched?
Let's go.
Boom. So The Devil All the Time.
Yeah, this is I watched this last night, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this is a new one out on Netflix. It's got a hell of a cast: Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Robert Pattinson, Sebastian Stan. It's got a wicked, wicked cast. And it is a very dark. I would say it's a very dark movie. It's very, very dark. It's basically there's multiple stories happening all at once that kind of center around this main character of Tom Holland.
Dan wants a PC beard.
Oh, anytime. And how they all kind of like intertwine into one big story at the end. It's quite a long movie. It's about 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think the standout performance quite easily in this is our new Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Right, Pattinson in this. He's not got the biggest role in it, but he's solid in this movie.
He's really good in it. I was just reading. I was reading earlier when they were making the film, they'd got all the cast to do dialect coaching, and Robert Pattinson said, "No, I don't want to do it. I just want to figure it out myself." And he just picked that up. So
Really?
yeah.
He's
He had
awesome.
no coaching sessions at all. So yeah, definitely go check the film out. Really decent film, some good aspects to it, and I think
It's just really well acted throughout as well. Really, really well acted. Like, even I know we're talking about like Pattinson, which is almost kind of like a given these days that whatever he's going to be in, he's going to knock it out of the park. But Tom
yeah,
Holland is really, really solid in this movie. Because like you when you see Tom Holland, you kind of like, oh, it's Spider Man. It's just
yeah,
whatever. But he was really, really good in this movie. And it's not something that you've ever really associate him being in. He swears a lot, it's quite violent, he smokes. It's very, very. It's almost the opposite of what you would kind of expect him to be doing.
yeah.
It's
It took
really,
me a
really good.
few minutes to get over Skarsgård because I kept seeing it.
Skarsgård was
And
great in this as well. And
yeah,
one
it
of
was
the
really good.
things that I really, really liked about Skarsgård's performance in this is that his accent was so convincing that at
Yeah,
times I could hardly understand him
yeah,
because it's such a deep, rich Southern accent, that it was that strong and that well on point that I was kind of like, at times I was like what was it? What did he just say? It was great. It was great. Oh, and yeah, for Harry Potter fans, Dudley Dursley is in it as well, which was weird. Little Dudley was in there as a preacher, which is really weird to see. But yeah, overall,
good film.
it was a really, really good movie. I would definitely recommend it.
So we've got Heather saying I Zombie, Kev saying the new power, new season, I believe. Tony, bit of Duchess.
Duchess.
And do you want to follow on that?
The Fall, yeah. So The Fall, yeah. Keep currently watching the Fall. It's really good. It's just getting better. It's just getting better. So it's something that's just continuing to watch, and it's Jamie Dornan's really, really quite dark in it. Really quite dark in it, but it's like one of those where he's the bad guy, he's doing very, very bad things, but you kind of like it. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
weird. It's weird. He's got this charming appeal to it. And then
Dark Fate.
I started watching this morning.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? I
I
like it.
really, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's I can't get over the fact that Elliot from ET's, the contacts that he's wearing in it.
Yeah, yeah.
His eyes are really like obviously blue, but he's wearing contacts, and I can't understand why for the life of me. It might be told later on down the line, but it just really trips me out. But yeah, overall, really, really enjoying it. It's yeah, it's a thinker, and I like how it keeps on. I think you might have touched upon this before, Nick,
Yeah.
but I like how it keeps on jumping forward and back and forward and back, and it's telling two stories at the same time whilst telling one overall story. It's yeah, it's really good, really good. I'm really enjoying
Decent.
it. Yeah, I'm enjoying, looking forward to watching it a little bit more of it.
Dark Fate. I enjoyed the beginning. I hated the rest, unfortunately. Finished Homeland. Yeah, Homeland was decent. Watched Shazam.
Love
Yeah, good
Shazam.
film.
Love
Good
Shazam.
film. And Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's decent. So Heather, this is one that I have put in mind.
Is that the one with Sarah Paulson
Um,
in it?
it is, yes. I'm not sure what I think at the minute. So I thought it would be, I don't know, a bit more horror or a bit more weird. So there is, don't get me wrong, there is weird moments in it, but I don't know, there's nothing exciting in it at the minute to like really keep you drawn.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm not sure at the minute. It's not wowing me at the moment. Unless something really kicks in the next 2 episodes, I might have to switch it off.
Mm.
So
I really, really rate Sarah Paulson as an actress. She's really,
yeah,
really good.
she is really good. Line of Duty? No, I've not
Not seen
watched
any of
it.
it. I've heard a lot of people rave about it, and I think I've said before, like I was watching an episode of Gogglebox once where they kind of showed what they were watching, and it was an episode Line of Duty, and it was a really important episode about something that happened. So I feel like I don't need to watch any of it now because I kind of know what's happening in that episode or that season or whatever it is. So I'm not really that bothered about it.
Barry. Oh no, not Umbrella Academy. Was it
The
Umbrella?
Boys.
Yeah, Umbrella Academy. So I got annoyed with Umbrella Academy, and I think it was because it was so I don't know, out of the ordinary, and I sort of predicted it was going to happen, and it annoyed me that it did. So Ellen Page's character is obviously living with that family, and then I thought when she came back to the house, I thought if she snogs the wife, I'm going to get pissed off because it's just going to be sort of blatant sort of messaging within the program, and it was sort of out of place, and it happened, and it annoyed me.
Mate, the same kind. I don't know. I've not seen Umbrella Academy, but when I was watching the New Mutants, the same thing happened. The same thing
And
happened.
it just felt out of place for me. I've got nothing against it at all, but it just didn't fit in with what
Yeah,
they were going for at all. It just felt like
and
they put it in for the sake of putting it in to
yeah,
say, "Oh,
he said the
Ellen
exact
Page is
same thing.
lesbian."
Exact same thing. There's two characters in New Mutants that it had nothing to do with the overall story, had nothing to do with the plot, and it pushed nothing forward in terms of the narrative or anything like that. But they forced it down your throat at times when it was like, look how we're showing you, and then it was like, yes, we know that they're going to kiss, we know that they're lesbians, we know you don't have to keep on showing us and telling us because it means nothing to the story. Like if you're going to do it, fine, it's not a problem. Like you said, I've got nothing against it at all. But if you're going to do it, incorporate into the story, make it as part of the narrative. Don't just do it just because you can do it, because it then just it feels forced.
So yeah, that was my little rant for Umbrella Academy. I love it, but that just scene pissed me off because it was forced. Des is brilliant. You know what? I didn't intentionally watch it, so I think it was just on in the background as I was doing something. But then Tennant's just his acting and stuff sort of drew me into the program, and he is awesome
David
playing
Tennant
this
is
character.
brilliant. He's brilliant
And
anyway.
I think him doing that sort of really dark, evil, nasty character, and the way that it's sort of portrayed, where he's sort of calm and doesn't give a shit about what he's been doing. Yeah, it's really really good. Definitely, yeah, you'll like that one, Barry. Mr. Hughes has been watching a bit of Ready Steady Cook.
Oh, a bit of Ainsley. Oh, Ainsley. Give you me a good old rub.
Barry.
Mate, me and Barry, we've already spoken about this. We were messaging each other about this because he said he watched it and he completely agreed with me. And I'm glad Caboose isn't in the house right now because he'd be pitching
He'd be kicking off. He'd be kicking off big time. Brian, thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, how's it going? How's the the Instagram ban going, Brian? I know that you've been blocked on some, like, putting some posts out and stuff like that. I hope it sorts itself out for you.
If you're going to do it, make it 18 plus.
Food sexy.
Dan, are you in the bath again?
Don't Heather will get excited.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Tom Hardy as the new Bond?
I don't like it.
I think you'd be all right.
I don't like it. It's too obvious. It's too predictable.
Do Tom Hardy as Bond with the accent that he does in The Craze. Be fantastic.
Do Tom Hardy as Bond as the accent he does in Peaky Blinders might be better, but I just don't. I just don't like the idea of Tom Hardy being James Bond. I just don't. I don't think he's suave enough.
I think he's got that rough suave.
I'll still watch it because I like Bond. I
Yeah.
like Bond, no matter what Bond it is.
I prefer Idris Elba. To be fair.
I much prefer Idris Elba. Much prefer Idris Elba.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom Hardy, he just seems so generic. It just seems so generic. Like Daniel Craig was like, it broke the mold a little bit because it's kind of like, oh, it's like the first blonde James Bond. And now you're just going back to just standard James Bond. It's just like I thought you were going to push a bit of boundaries with it.
Dancers giving Bane's voice.
Or can you imagine? My name's Bond. It's like, my name's Bond. James Bond.
Or Bronson's voice. That's even better.
The name's Bond, you can't.
Brilliant. But yeah, Idris is my number one choice just because I think
he's perfect for the role. Like if you've seen what's my name? What's the show that he was in? He played the police officer.
Oh, I know which one you're on about.
Oh my god. Come on, what is it? Oh, what am I thinking of?
It's totally gone out of my head.
But whatever it is, it's if you've seen that, you know how he could play a great James Bond because he's cool, he's suave, he's edgy, he's hard. He's perfect for Bond. He's perfect for Bond. I just think Tom Hardy's I think he's too safe more than anything.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying full no for Tom Hardy because I like Tom Hardy and I think he'd smash it as Bond.
Luther. Cheers, Dan. Yeah. Cheers, Dan. I mean, Tom Hardy's pretty much great at whatever he does. I'm not bashing Tom Hardy here. He's pretty much great at whatever he does.
Yeah.
And he could make James Bond his own. I'm just saying I'm not that bothered by it.
So Heather's put too much brawn, not suave.
Yeah, I could see him being a really aggressive James Bond. He's just not. I just like Tom Hardy. I think he's cool. He's cool as shit. Like Tom Hardy is cool, but he's not James Bond cool.
Did you ever watch The Take with Tom Hardy? Scary character. Yeah, I really liked The Take. It was a slow build up, and I think I think it was a Boston accent, and he did it really well. Really well. Bit of a slow burn that one was.
The Take.
Really good. Yeah, it was with Gandolfini, I think.
Wasn't that The Drop?
Oh, is that The Drop? The Take. I'm getting confused. Is that the TV show you're on about, Barry?
That's Taboo.
Yeah, I think The Take might be an old TV show he did, where he was a bit of a nasty guy in it, yeah. If it's that what I'm thinking of. I think he'll bring some darkness to the character. I don't think he will be generic at all.
No, I'm not saying that he'll be a generic Bond. I think he's just a generic looking choice. I think he's a safe choice for James Bond. When I thought that they might be kind of like pushing boundaries with the role of James Bond, like there was talk where people aren't happy or people weren't happy about the fact that James Bond could be Idris Elba because he was a black man, and then there was talk about James Bond then becoming a female. Like there was real talks about pushing the boundaries with what James Bond could be and how 007 could be portrayed, and then you kind of go, actually, it's just Tom Hardy, and you go, oh, so all of that progressiveness that they were trying to go with the character, they've just kind of gone right back to safety. So it just feels a little safe for me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't do a good job. Like I said, Tom Hardy's good at whatever he does. But I don't feel like I've watched a movie with Tom Hardy in that I haven't liked him in what it is, what he's doing. But I'm not feeling it right now. He might prove me wrong. He probably will prove me wrong. But right now, I'm not feeling it. Jared Leto is absolutely the best person for James Bond, quite clearly.
Barry, I think if it's the old one I'm thinking of, is it where he's doing something naughty and he spits on the woman as he's doing it? If it's the one I'm thinking of,
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
he's a horrible guy in it, really horrible. If it's that one I'm thinking of,
Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston could be a. I reckon Tom Hiddleston could be a good James Bond.
there's a Cavill from Heather Henry. I'd like him to be, but I prefer him as Superman.
Yeah, he showed that in Man from Uncle that he can play that type of kind of spy detective kind of guy. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's more, like I said, he's more superhero for me. Steve Buscemi.
He'd be
That would be
amazing.
one of the best James Bond plot twists ever.
Similar character in the Con Air. That'd
Yeah.
be funny. Yeah, but Barry's but the TV show one I'm on about's right. Yeah, that scene's a bit of a dirty scene.
Dirty scene.
Cool. So,
Should we talk about a little bit of movie news? Yeah.
bit of movie news. Yeah, we got a bit of movie news. So
let's talk about Mulan, shall we? Shall we just quickly just touch on Mulan? So Mulan was Disney remake, latest movie, Disney remake Mulan. It came out on Disney Plus for a premium price. I think it was $30 in America, £20 over here in the UK. Obviously, that's on top of your monthly subscription. But it's not done so well, and I don't think that the streaming platform is the reason for it. And what I mean by it's not done so well is it's currently Disney's lowest rated live action remake on IMDb by user rating. So it's currently rated at a 5.7. I think it was like 17,000 reviews. And I just think it's quite surprising, really. But I'd like to get people's opinion on why that is, because there's been a lot of talk about the lead actress in it and her kind of like views on her political views. I think she's quite anti-democratic, and I think there's been like a movement to kind of like boycott the movie. I don't know if anyone knows any more about it that they'd like to weigh in on it, or have you watched it? Did anyone pay for it? I didn't, because it said that it would be coming out in December on the platform, and I wouldn't have to pay for it. So I'm just waiting until then, really. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Have you heard anything about it, Nick, or have you looked into it a little bit?
no, not too much. It's something that I want to watch. The trailer I really liked. Donnie Yen's in it, so I'll watch it anyway for Donnie. But I like the take that they took with this. But I'll have to see how it is when I watch it. Right, next one. Mr. Captain America himself, Chris Evans, had a bit of a mishap last weekend.
His old boy came out.
Yeah, he posted an Instagram post that was up for probably a minute or so, and it showed the gallery on his phone, and you seen the old sausage of Chris Evans, and there was another post which is sort of turned into a bit of a meme. I don't know. I've not seen the picture, but it had words on there saying "God, that pussy" that he was sending to someone. So you can imagine how wild that has gone. He's then followed it up with this tweet. Now that I have your attention, with an embarrassing emoji, please vote on November 3rd. And Jamie Lee Curtis has followed up. My boy, proud of him, got my attention. So you can imagine all of his celebrity friends following up with lots of
he's taken it in
and...
his stride, though, hasn't he? He's taken it like a sport. He's not gone out and been like, make sure that you get that down. He's taken it in jest, which is very rare for people to do in this kind of like day and age, especially when you're talking about a secret dick pic there.
Yeah, I think there was also some talk about sort of hypocrisy with him doing that, because I think some females sort of got slated, like Jennifer Lawrence. So when she had it, people were like, well, why are you taking that stuff on your phone and doing all that stuff, where he's had lots of support and people are not moaning about it and stuff like that. So they're just like, there's a bit of hypocrisy going on for males compared to females. But yeah, like you said, he's had a laugh about it in an interview. So
yeah, it's Andy's
funny.
just put, in regards to the Chris Evans situation, it was nice to see everyone rally around him, but it would be nice to see this happen if it would happen to a female celebrity. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's you can't say that if it happened to a female celebrity, she shouldn't be taking pictures like that and this, that, and the other. And then when it happens to a bloke, it's a funny thing, and everyone go, "Don't worry about it. It's it's fine."
Yeah. Mulan is dull, but I wouldn't follow the IMDb score. It was review bombed due to Hong Kong comments and thanking area of China that are imprisoning Muslims in camps. The film is fine. Okay.
Yeah, it was more just trying to see whether or not the score was kind of like the opinion of the movie is swayed by what's going on in the world rather than the movie itself, and I think that's probably is what's happening.
Feel confident about Mulan. I won't pay $30 for it. Love that Asians are represented, but the lead actress, nationalist views are problematic.
Yeah, and I think it's probably having a bit of a sway in terms of people's enjoyment of the movie because of everything that's currently going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of that in the paper, Andy. Yeah, and it's not great at all.
Oh, Brian's come in with this. Is it hypocrisy or is it because of his reaction to it? It's a fair question, because I suppose it is because he took it all in his stride and he's just like, whoops. Whereas other people could be like, get that off now, get that down. If you post that up, I will sue you and this, that, and the other. So is it just because he's not really that bothered that his Johnson is out there for people to see, or I don't know.
Dan put he was probably texting Trump. He's put, if I had a sausage like that, it would be out constantly. Dan's been straight on it, hasn't he? He's been straight having a look.
I've honestly not even seen the picture, so I wouldn't be able to comment.
It's absolute middle of the road fine film. It's nothing special. It's like all the Disney remakes, just fine. Okay. Cool.
Jungle Book was more than just fine, Andy. I'll have you know. Jungle Book was more than just fine.
So the next bit of news is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So there was a reading going on, a live reading with these beautiful people.
Oh, look at Shia LaBeouf there, man. What the hell?
This, I watched this last night, and it was... so it was really good. So all of them, I think they did about just over an hour of the film. So you've got Sean Penn, who played the main character, but in this live reading, Shia played that character. And what you found when they were doing it, Sean Penn and Matt McConaughey absolutely pissing themselves laughing, because he goes full on method acting. Even on this live reading, he goes full on. He's having a spliff, getting stoned like the character, and you can see all the actors like just pissing themselves laughing. And then what you've also got, you've probably seen it in the news. You've then got these two. So there's a scene where you've got Morgan Freeman's narrating the scene. And Jennifer Aniston's bit, he's talking about that she's getting her breasts out and her nipples are sticking out. And Brad Pitt's character is actually called Brad. And Jennifer has to say, "Hello, Brad. "You're so sexy and cute," and you can see Brad Pitt there just pissing himself laughing and a bit embarrassed at the same time. But yeah, it's really good. If you haven't watched it, it's on YouTube, and you can just watch them all doing a live reading of this film.
I might check
It's
that
about an
out.
hour.
Actually, that sounds funny.
Yeah, so like I said, there's quite a lot of them on there. They're all playing sort of different characters, and you can just see them having a laugh. And I think they're going to do a few more coming up. So yeah, if you just type in Fast Times reading, it's about 59 minutes long. Yeah, it's really good.
Brad Pitt in these stills looks like his character from was the stoner character from what
True Romance.
True Romance, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Let's have a look.
What happened
comment.
but he didn't. Oh, hang on. But he didn't respond to it for a while. People dived in on it like a live grenade as soon as it happened, flooding social media with pictures on the hashtag. That's not the case the other way around. Jungle Book is the outlier, absolutely. What happened to Dane Cook?
Yeah, he's put a bit of beef on Mr. Dane. People realised that he was never funny after all.
Brad Pitt looks rough. He always
Brad
does
is never
though.
rough.
He always
that
looks,
rough and ready, isn't he?
He always looks a bit shaggy, doesn't he? He's just like his appearance, like outside of the movies, always looks just a bit carefree. Band scrubs up though, scrubs up well.
Oh, see you later, Andy. See you in a bit, mate.
See you later, man.
Brad Pitt in True Romance. Yeah.
He's
in True Romance. The stoner.
Stoner roommate. He's barely got 3-4 lines in the entire movie, but yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, he's just sat on the sofa.
Everyone's in that movie, apparently.
Yeah, literally everyone. So the next piece of news is from the Flash film, The Multi-Universe. So there was a bit of news to say that even more people are coming in to this film. And one of them people is this gentleman, Nick of the Cage. So if you didn't know, Tim Burton was creating a Superman film, and it was almost ready to film, and it didn't happen. So they're looking to bring it back and say that Nick Cage's Superman's within Keaton's universe. And yeah, if you look at some of these pictures, they were testing loads of different suits on him. There was even this middle one where it lit up and it was all crazy. So it'd be interesting to see if he comes in there. So they're looking to bring in George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell. I don't think they'll bring Val Kilmer because he's not been too well. They're even talking about Christian Bale. So yeah, Flash flicking through all these different multiverses. What do you think about this, Ant? Do you think it's too much?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do. And look, I think it's fine in jest. I think it's fine in if it's literally just passing. If it's literally like the cameo of cameos, it's just a tiny little thing because it's too much. There's a fine line in this movie, and I think that they're treading the line at the minute. Obviously, there's speculation about what they can do. The thing is with Flash, is so important to the DC universe and the multiverse because anything is possible with the Flash in the terms of the multiverse, because he has the ability to warp and bend and change time by running through different realities and different times. So literally anything is possible. But that doesn't mean that everything should be possible, just because anything can be possible. So you do have the opportunity of being able to explore different worlds and different times and stuff like that. But if you're going to bring in all those Batmans and stuff like that, then what's to say that you won't get Pattinson in it? There is such a thing as too much fan service, and it gets to the point of parody when you start including things like Nick Cage, because Nick Cage is he's a is an actor who's in his own right has done his own things and stuff like that. But Nick Cage's Superman is something of a parody. It never happened. It probably never will happen. But everyone knows it as like when you see it, you go, "There's no way that would ever work. There's no way Nick Cage could ever play a convincing superhero, especially Superman." I mean, he did what Ghost Rider, and that was wappy as shit. Like, there's no way that he can play Superman. So if they are going to reference it and they are going to do it, I think bringing in George Clooney is a bad thing. I think bringing in Christian Bale is also a bad thing. I think they need to leave it at the two back, because what you're going to then end up doing is detracting away from whatever story you're telling, because all people want is more fun, more cameos, and it's not about it's about having the fun. It's about exploring it, but you just need to kind of just draw a line in it and just say, actually, we've got Keaton, we've got Affleck, we potentially will be visiting other superheroes as well. You don't have to do every single Batman. You don't have to do then a Superman that would never ever work. You don't have to do it, because you've got such other rich material you could be using. So I think Nicolas Cage has stepped too far for me. Who knows? They could make it work. If it's true and they do it, they could make it work, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Like Jackman's cameo in X-Men, like Hugh Jackman's cameo in First Class. He's literally in it, and he says 3 words. That's the kind of thing you need if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I just don't think they should.
Not a full-on cameo.
It's literally like the cameo of cameos. They need to say 1 or 2 words, or they see him fly past. That's it. You just see him fly past, and in slow-mo or something like that. I don't know. I just think they just need to back off from the silliness of it.
Or it could be like Stallone in Saturday Night Fever sequel. Does Aniston go Method 2? No, not like Shia. I think she might play Phoebe, or I don't know if it's Stacey. But Julia Roberts looks fantastic. She still looks awesome. She don't look too Botoxed either.
Julia Roberts. Oh, I can't remember the last thing I saw her in.
Last of the Mohicans, and
it's going to be like Casino all over again.
Yeah. Tony says death too much.
Yeah.
Cage did play Superman in Teen Titans Go movie. Barry, have you watched 11-14?
You can't have
Nick Cage as Superman.
I mean, mate, it almost happened, and that was the weird thing. Like, it almost happened. I just can't ever really see him as a beacon of hope, as Superman should be.
Oh, Caboose is here.
Caboose he's been secretly just hiding in the background whilst we badmouthed Once Upon a Time.
Caboose, Barry's watched one of your favourite films, and he will let you know what you thought about it. Next thing you know, they'll bring George Reeves and Christopher Reeves. CGI.
Yeah,
Cameron Poe was the superhero. He definitely was. He was the best superhero. Julia Roberts in their Netflix show Homecoming. Yes, I've not actually watched that yet. She's supposed to be good in it as well.
Yeah, I've not. Yep, Barry 2, Caboose. Barry 2.
He's joined the clan, Caboose. He's joined in. Just watched the trailer. Looks decent.
And whilst we're on the topic of superheroes, the last week we said that Batman production, I think it was last week or the week before, can't remember which one it was. The Batman production had halted because Robert Bat-in-Bat, contracted coronavirus. So they halted the production, but apparently production is now back in swing. So we should start seeing a little bit more movement on behind the scenes footage. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see a lot more pictures out there in the months to come whilst they're recording it. But considering everything that's happened for this production, do we think this movie is doomed, or is it going to be one of those that feels like
No,
it's
it'll be fine.
a cursed production?
It'll be fine. It'll
I
be
hope so,
absolutely fine.
because
On the back
otherwise,
of that,
all we've got is the trailer, which is good as it is. But I want a full movie of it.
on the back of that, one of the topics we want to talk about is the impact is already happening on cinemas. So some of that is some of the news that I saw around Tenet and the money that has not made. So I think it had a weekend of where it only made 5 million, and these films are supposed to be making in the hundreds of millions. So regardless of that film, it's going to be considered a flop, because it's
A
not
box
made the
office
money.
flop. Yeah.
And I can imagine they spent a hell of a lot of money on that film. So I think this is probably why we're seeing a lot of these films getting pushed back to next year, because they are probably looking at Tenet and going, no, the
Yeah,
producers are wanting their money.
I'm almost adamant that that's why Wonder Woman was pushed back to Christmas.
Yeah, 100%. So a lot of these movies are gonna, if they want to release this year, I don't think they'll make a lot of money. I don't think you're gonna get any £1 billion films anytime soon. Just because people are not going out, they're not going to go to the cinema until this is sorted, and we've got a vaccine. So yeah, I think cinemas they're probably already feeling the impact of people not going to
They're
watch
probably
films.
suffering. The only thing that cinemas can do at the minute with the releases consistently being pushed back is keep on pushing out that the nostalgia feel, get people going in
Yeah.
that are watching movies that otherwise they would never get a chance to see at the cinema. Your old movies like Star Wars. I mean, I think Cineworld did a Lord of the Rings one. Like, so you push them out and stuff like that. Stuff you've already got in the locker. You'll keep your head above water.
Avatar
Revenue
will come
wise,
back and take over Endgame.
mate. When that comes out, that's going to take the world by storm.
Yeah.
It's going to take the world by storm because they'll re-release Avatar, like Avatar 1. I'll get to watch it in the cinema, which I'm super, super excited for. And then obviously you've got number 2. Number 2 is going to break the world.
It will be. I'm intrigued to see what he does, because he will do something different, and it's something to do with the underwater stuff, isn't it? So
He wants to do 3D, like glassesless 3D,
yeah,
doesn't he? He wants a fully immersive 3D experience without the need for glasses, which would be interesting because no one's been able to do that. No one's even. I don't know if anyone's even tried to do that.
I think for me, I feel the difference with watching a film at home and the cinema. So I'll give you an example. When I watched Mad Max Fury Road in the cinema, I was absolutely amped for that. The music,
So good, so good. It was
just
beautiful.
the overall sound. But if then I watched that at home, I wouldn't get that immersive soundtrack and feel for the film at home, because the volume probably wouldn't be high and you wouldn't really get as invested into it.
It's the same as Tenet. It's the same as Tenet. Like Tenet was a visual and audio kind of like treat. You watch that at home, you're not going to get that. You're not, because it's super loud. It's very, very visual. So the bigger the screen, the better. And you need you need to be in a loud place to watch a movie like that. And you're just not going to get the same feel at home. You just can't, even if you've got a projector, you've got loudspeaker, you're just not going to get that same feeling. And that's why you can't beat going to the cinema.
Especially IMAX.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't beat it. And yeah, it's it's a shame, really. It's a shame that they're starting to feel the sting of it, and basically it's all down to zeros,
Yeah.
dollar bills.
So Barry only enjoyed the last 20 minutes. Sorry, mate. Tried hard to like it. The ranch scene was okay, I suppose. I spent most of the time waiting for something to happen.
The ranch scene bothered me because it kept on building this tension to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go over it anymore. I keep on saying I'm not going to go over it and keep on going over it.
People going to the movies is going to be effective for a while. Yep, 100%.
Unfortunately,
1918 at home would be no good.
I think that's 1917.
Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's just not going to be as good at home as it is in the cinema. It's just a fact. But it's we'll see how it develops. Hopefully, this lockdown kind of discussion that's happening is not going to affect us even more. But we'll see. But I think, ladies and gents, I think we're all out of subjects.
Yeah. So we are going to wrap up.
Yes, we will
So,
wrap up.
I think before we go, one last shout. Get to Barry's page. Go and subscribe to Barry if you haven't done so. I know there's not many people in here, but if you haven't done, go and do it now, please. Thank you.
Do it.
Do it now. Do it. Do it slow. Do it sexy. Cool. So don't forget about the giveaway. So if it's something that you want to win, head over and follow the instructions. So that's on our perfume parlor video.
Our latest
So
video,
we've got 3 prizes. Yeah.
Yeah. As always, guys, we thank you for coming in and interacting. It's been a good chat today, a good mixture of different opinions, and it was fun to have the chat. So thank you very much. If you haven't liked the video already, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Click that thumbs up. We're all about the like. We're all about the likes over here. Also, he's not in the chat anymore, but I think we can't really end without having a huge, massive thank you to Mr. Zahara for the massive, generous donation. Wasn't expecting that at all. It almost literally knocked the words out of my mouth. So, George, if you manage to hear this again, watch it back, thank you very, very much. We massively appreciate it.
100%.
And yeah, I think that is it from us. So we will say good night. Have a lovely evening.
Have a lovely week.
And we will see you next week. Be Friday next week, unless we've got anything on. But we'll let you know either way.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll see you lovely people next week. Have a lovely evening. Love you all.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.